Welcome back, folks, to more Avernum. We're here at the Hidden Island Tower. So yeah, we don't necessarily have to come here now. There is going to be cause for us to come back here, as Stephen Jennings has mentioned. I just wanted to stop by here and do a little parlay with some of the characters, pick up some more quests because we don't have enough, and just do a general little exploration here of this area. But yes, we will have to come back here, as we have to go back to several places because I still don't have the level 3 barrier. Apparently I missed an area in the Sleuth Fortress, and I forgot to tell the prisoners in the giant castle that they were allowed to be free. So we'll either do that sometime between now and then, or we will do that when we get the L3 barrier smasher, which we're going to be working on very soon. That'll give us plenty of reason to go back. You meet a thin, pale man. He is sitting on the stone near a small bonfire, roasting a lizard on a stick. He's wearing tattered chainmail, upon which the insignia of the Empire is still visible. Despite this, he seems friendly. He nods as you approach. Then he looks down at the Empire insignia. I'm Gilbert. I don't fight for the Empire. I don't mean you any harm, Avernite. Why are you sitting out here? I guard the tower. This tower? Yeah, right here. Guard the tower from what? Unwelcome visitors, of course. We've been watching you for some time, and you seem safe. That's why you're still alive. You're the first visitor we've had since we were exiled. We? How many of you are there? Me, Aiden, and Josie. We're kind of on the defensive here. The other two are in the tower, and I watch the wards and the door. The defenses are good, so I don't have to do much. I write poetry. I just love poetry. Can I hear some of yours? How about this? The cavern has a set of teeth, a tongue, a river, fungus hair, a face to match the sun above, shining on those who do not care. He sighs. I'm working on it. That was kind of good. No, it wasn't, though it's kind of you to say so. We've traveled far to get here. There's much we would like to learn. Then you should enter the tower. What are the wards? Powerful ruins around the tower. Even if an Empire assassin eventually does get through the blue field, we can just turn on the wards, and he'll get a heck of a surprise. I don't see a door. Where is it? Gilbert looks back at the tower. There's a door into the tower. Just go walk in. He returns to cooking his bit of lizard meat. There's a middle-aged man sitting in this chair staring into a crystal. He looks up at you. In the crystal you see a familiar image. You, walking through the magical bear outside the tower. Entering, speaking with Gilbert. He looks up at you. I am Aiden. Once an Empire mage of a very high circle. Highly trusted, now much fallen as you can tell. What are you doing out here so far from civilization? We are hiding. Hiding from what? We, I, my wife, and Gilbert are exiles, refugees from the Empire. We hide behind our defenses here, waiting for the above grounds to send assassins after us. We also wait for the right visitor to arrive. The Empire has sent assassins after you? Yes, unfortunately, the Empire has soldiers all over this area, trying to figure out how to get past our defenses so they can kill us. They wish to slay us before we can find the right person. Am I this much anticipated visitor? So it would appear. I have valuable information. Go on. I was once a high-ranking mage in the Empire. I knew a lot then. Then we fled, and I found out a lot more through my scrying. The three of us have found a new goal, you see. And what is this new goal? Rebellion. I will not go into the wrongs the Empire has done. You know of many, and there are many more on top of that. Evil you could not imagine. A powerful mage can rise high and see many low things, but this is all besides the point. I know a way to strike the Empire a decisive blow. I believe you may be the ones to deal it. I would love to hurt the Empire. There's only one way to do so. Emperor Hawthorne must be destroyed. I can tell you how. When Avernum became the Empire's dung heap, they sealed off almost all the exits. But then they needed a convenient way to get large numbers of people down and up if necessary. and the best way to do that was through teleportation. We can use their teleporters to reach Hawthorne. You can be sent directly into his fortress to strike him down. We will kill Hawthorne if possible. Please continue. Then I will tell you what you need. You'll need to locate the teleportation augmenter, and you'll need to pass the towers defending it. Then you can attain your great reward, vengeance from the spot I direct you to. And with the aid of the powerful wizard to cast the spell, you can teleport into the heart of the Empire. That is your reward, and there, a blow may be struck which could crumble the whole foul nation. I want to learn more about this teleporter that can take me to the Emperor. There's much to learn. Teleporting is a powerful tool, but limited. We're too far underground, you see. It takes too much power to teleport someone down here, let alone many people. But clever as we are, we've come up with a solution. Go on. It's a teleporter augmenter. It's a rune circle which makes it easier to send people up and down. It's a very powerful thing, and much power was expended creating it. It's well guarded and even better hidden. He grins and holds up his orb. And I can tell you its location and secrets, and most importantly about the two towers between you and your goal. What is the location of the augmenter? West. Travel down south of the river west from here. You'll eventually find several ledges covered with fungus. There's a secret passage off one of them, leading to a long passage which leads to the goal. The location, however, is only half the secret. Tell us more about these towers. There are two of them which you must pass to get to your goal. One of them contains a ward made by the dragon Khoth. Then there's the Black Spire, which has a gate with a deadly trap. How can I bypass the ward the dragon created? We bribed a dragon named Khoth to create the ward for us. It's a powerful magic barrier for us. To pass it, you'll need a ritual. I don't know it, but the Drake will. Fortunately, the Empire stole one of its scrolls and earned its rage in the bargain. You may be able to get its help. You'll need much luck and skill to get through, but the reward will be great. Where can we find Khoth? The mighty worm lives in the west, in some very inhospitable caverns. I want to learn more about that teleporter that can take me to the Emperor. There's much to learn. Teleporting is a powerful tool, but limited. Anything else you can tell us about assaulting the Empire? Only that you should find Erica. She lives in a well-guarded tower to the south of here. If anyone can guide you along the dangerous path to freedom, it is she. Describe the trap in the Black Spire if you know it. I should know. I created it. The wheel which opens the door out will fry you unless you press the royal seal of the Empire into the tiny depression in the corner of the fresco at the north end of the tower. A royal seal? Where can I find it? It's a good question. I would speak with the wizard Rome in the castle. I suspect that he may be able to help you. He took part in a mighty war against demonkind. One warrior who took part in those battles had a royal seal. A royal seal? Indeed. You need a royal seal of the Empire to get to the end. It's very difficult. Royal seals are very rare. However, one was brought down with the first expedition, and it may still be down here. Alright, so we just picked up Slay the Emperor, the Tower Ritual, and the Royal Seal quest. These are all part of the in-game questicles. And now we have them in our book of so many fucking questicles. Because, you know, we need more questicles. And also, we need to rob this joint. On this desk, you find notes of a wide variety of research. One of them catches your eye. The ability of the Doomguard to divide itself makes it uniquely a lethal foe. We hope one day to find a spell to counteract this effect, but have had no luck so far. Sweep, sweep, sweep. All day long. Alright, this door is too complicated for us. A woman in brightly colored gauzy dress whirls around the tower, sweeping. She stops humming and sets aside her broom for a moment when you approach.
Hello, I'm Josie.
You seem very enthusiastic about sweeping up this place.
She sighs and grimaces.
Tending to this tower is about all I can aspire to these days, I'm afraid.
Is it boring?
She gives you a look.
I suppose it's fulfilling to some, but I once had a far loftier post. I want more. Since Gilbert Iden and I fled, Iden spends his time scrying, Gilbert keeps watch, and I get to look over the defenses. Unfortunately, the fences take the least time, so I also cook and sweep and farm and take care of the cows. Frustrating, really, a waste of my talents.
So you set up the defenses, including the blue field?
Yes, but before I forget,
she casts a brief spell.
You can now pass the blue field safely. We'd hate for you to be killed trying to leave.
What sort of talents do you have?
She opens her palm and a tiny flame appears. Although it's small, you can feel the heat from where you stand. She grins.
I once belonged to a high circle of magery. Maintaining the wards is a little work, but making them was a job to remember. I'd like to see those Empire assassins get in here.
She closes her hand and the flame disappears.
Can you teach us magic?
No, teaching was never my talent. Never had patience for the foolishness of apprentices.
Aiden asked us to assassinate the Emperor.
That is indeed our project. This is why I needed to work so hard on our defenses. Hawthorne's a mad dog, and he needs to be put down. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time until he burns Avernum to a cinder.
You really believe that?
Of course, it is his way. The Emperor can never tolerate anyone who is not under his complete control. One day he will see that he has allowed us to exist down here, and then he will attack. The only thing that will save you is to strike him down before that day comes.
Alright, that's really all we need to do here for now. Alright, maybe I'll try going out this way. Alright, we drink some of the water. After a moment, you start to feel strange. Your senses grow clear and your thoughts travel faster. You feel strangely and powerfully enlightened. 20% chance of resisting any mental attack, 100% chance protection from a death curse. When this status is gained, all death curses are removed. Need to make note of that. Here's another boat. You move carefully through the jumbled stone of the cavern, trying to avoid as many groups of drakes as possible. Many of them seem uninterested in you. Suddenly, a few of the reptiles take an interest in you. You try to evade them, but no luck.
That's okay. We're here to kick ass and take names.
that'll work too much on the drakes. But it'll get rid of the basilisk at least. Then we can drop some water. This remote, hot, humid cavern is filled with the smell of decay and choked with the musk giant lizards giant lizards attend to emit. When you're on the corner, you find out where the smell comes from. This rubble and stalagmite-choked cave is filled with giant lizards, fire lizards, and the occasional drake. Fortunately, they seem content with resting on flat rocks, hunting smaller lizards and occasionally attacking one another. Although many of them can see you, they don't seem keen on attacking. You move carefully through the jumbled stones of the cavern, trying to avoid as many of these drakes as possible. Many of them seem uninterested. Suddenly, a few reptiles take an interest. It's the good old cryodrakies. Okay. Cryo does mean, it does mean freeze, by the way, Game Hoarder. Why didn't they make them blue? More drakes approach us. Yeah, getting Khoth to adrenaline rush status is gonna be a lit. Working our way to level 29. At this, the most remote corner of the large cavern of the Drakes, you find a huge tower crudely erected with basalt slabs. Perhaps it was made by the Drakes, perhaps someone or something else. Its doors are open to you. You notice none of the lizards go near it. We explore it. The enormous hall is dominated by a rough statue of a dragon covered with claw marks. It was the Drakes that formed and shaped the statue long, long ago, painstakingly digging it out of the living rock. Being adventurous, you can't help but notice that the statue's eyes and fangs are large, valuable-looking emeralds, which we, of course, take. You climb the statue and get the gems. When you walk outside, you quickly discover that not only will none of the lizards go near the temple, but they don't appreciate anyone else going inside either. Holy fucking crocolisk. Ah, god damn it, dude. good time to have that hardiness. That's all she wrote, baby. Rat Tail Band. That's getting sold. Buff back up and get right back to it. 20% resisting mental attack. Yes, please. Oh man, that didn't last very long. What's up with that? You're at the bottom of a gigantic shaft rising upward, far beyond the range of your light. A narrow ramp spirals up its sides. It's clearly ancient, and too worn to tell whether it's natural or man-made. You climb and climb, daring to hope you might have found an exit from Avernum at last. Your hopes are dashed when you climb to a point where the stone of the shaft seems to have dripped and melted together, sealing you in with millions of tons of rock. You climb back down. Tower Ritual. Slay the Emperor. We may have found our destination. As you approach this narrow land bridge, a crowd of spirits rise up in front of you, floating out of the solid stone of the cave floor. Each of them looks like an adventurer, brutally killed years and years ago. They watch you, waiting for you to act. You approach the shades. One of them says,
"We are doorkeepers of Khoth. The mighty dragon beyond will consider allowing you to approach him. Pass beyond, so that you may be tested. Do not steal like we did in our foolish lives, or your fate will match ours."
The shades sink back into the stone. You may pass. Welcome to the lair of Khoth. I didn't steal anything. What the fuck? Alright, well, Khoth has some guardians here. doesn't mind if we killed him. Iron Warded. Those might be better off by attacking with spells. Rune Warded means that they're more susceptible to melee. Trog, you got fucked up! So one of the reasons why we came by here first, or came by the hidden tower first, is because Aiden, that we talked to, gives us the quest that marks the map for us for the lair of Khoth. And actually, you get this pointed out to you on the map. I'm not sure if that makes much of a difference if you come here anyways. But yeah, that's kind of why I went there first. This is the lair of Khoth the Mighty, Khoth the Wise. All thieves will feel his wrath. Let's go ahead and save on... Change Kyath to Khoth. An insubstantial shade wields a very real broom. It sweeps the enormous halls. What are you doing? It stares at you for a second, then it says in a hollow voice, I sweep. Why are you sweeping? Such is the bidding of my master. Is there any information you can give which could possibly be useful to me in my adventures? No. It floats away. These gigantic halls contrast sharply with the rough natural stone outside. They are lovely, beautifully built. They also look like recent construction. Every sound you make echoes up high, arched corridors into distant amphitheaters. When you look closely, you see that the stone blocks of the floor are covered with tiny scratches, as if from reptilian claws. It's very cold in here. Not natural cold, but of the undead. Shades pace up and down the halls, dusting and moving books around. Khoth must find undead servants to be more reliable. No stealing here. You look through the books in Khoth's collection. It's amazingly eclectic lot. Some of the books are recent. Some of them are so old that they crumble when you touch them. Some scrolls are in languages whose speakers are long dead. Very interesting, but you don't find anything of immediate value. What would your job be? I clean the caverns as per my master's order. And your master would be Mighty Khoth. You try to ask something else, but the shade stops responding. It floats off, gathering up dust and mold as it goes. This creature doesn't move, not even to breathe. It's been magically frozen here. Maybe for experimentation, maybe as punishment. Very creepy. Same thing with the Slith Warrior. You look through the books in Khoth's collection. It's amazingly eclectic cloud. Okay, same shit as the other ones. You do manage with difficulty to understand the writing. It's the journal of a band of adventurers dating back to the early days of the Empire, when it was possible for some free souls in the service to seek excitement. It's a very interesting read, and you learn a lot of helpful tips and tricks designed to make adventuring life easier. You've earned some experience. We'll take free experience. There's a row of large leather scrolls in this pedestal, each wrapped around a bar of cold steel. You notice there's an open space in one of the rows. One of the scrolls seems to be missing. There's a ring of statues around the pedestal. Their eyes glow red. You can't shake the suspicion that they are watching you. I don't know if we want to take one of those, but the moment the scroll leaves the surface pedestal, it disappears. Flames shoot from the eyes of the statue, searing you. Moments later, the scroll reappears on the pedestal. Ow! Well, that's no biggie. It's nothing Clock can't handle.
Why are you carrying meat?
Shade wanders the halls carrying a large, moist chunk of raw meat. Little bits of bone and gristle protrude from it at odd angles.
I hunt and return.
Why do you need to hunt?
My master has given me skill to bring down meat.
Meat for who?
I bring food to Khoth. He awaits this morsel. I must go.
It floats away. Oh, there's mighty Khoth. His name sounds like Khoth. The floor in this library is covered with small glowing runes. There are thousands of lines of them curving and spiraling across the floor, each one painstakingly and intricately carved into the rock. The patterns are beautiful and hypnotic, but if they have any meaning, it escapes you. To understand what they are for, you would have to know a lot more about dragons than you do now. You look through the books in Khoth's collection, and it's the same shit as before. You don't fucking find diddly dick. You search through the bookshelves, and sure enough, you find the book Claudette asks you to find. It is a short, grim tome describing the horrible fates of the first priest to be sent to Avernum. It is a sad book, but an inspiring one as well. You memorize as much of its contents as you can, so you can relay them to Claudette. I believe that's the Wisdom of Khoth right here. We need to go back to the city of Formello and let the priestess know. We've had that quest sitting there for quite a while. Oh boy. I'm not going to take anything out of here. Oh boy, that's not stealing though. A lemonwood longbow. Smells like lemons. Here we go, folks. You can improve your knowledge of the spell-to-spell barrier here. You concentrate and try to memorize it, and with work, you gain more proficiency with this spell. So we finally have our Dispel Barrier level 3. We can now go back to all these other areas, which is good because we've missed shit. Ironically, you cannot dispel this barrier as far as I know. Yep. You need Dispel Barrier 4, and only Khoth knows that. He will not share its secrets with you. The tunnel leads down and away from Khoth's lair. It provides a hidden exit in case of attack. Alright, let's go talk to the mighty Khoth here. A large sinuous dragon sits coiled here, lost in contemplation of a long scroll. When you approach, he looks up and grimaces.
I am Khoth. You are disrupting my solitude, little human. Say what you have to say, quickly.
A priestess in Formello told us that you might have a book on the history of priests in Avernum.
He thinks forbid.
Yes, I do. It's a trivial and uninteresting topic, but the tome on that subject does rest in the less interesting areas of my library. Look in the shelves by the spiral of runes. If the rats haven't eaten it, it is there.
We have learned that you made walls for a tower near here.
This is true. It is for some visitors from the Empire, before they cheated me.
What wards did you make for them?
You are interested? Well, there is a hidden tower near here, across the river. It blocks a passage. To go through, you need to pass several wards of my making. If you don't know the correct ritual and have the correct item, you die.
Would you teach me this ritual?
Gladly, as it would harm the Empire. First, though, you must do something for me. Find the scroll of history they stole from me and return it to me. Do this and I will help you pass the wards I created in the secret tunnel to the south.
Tell us more about this scroll.
It is precious beyond words, filled with the heritage and history of my mighty people. Irreplaceable. He rises in fury. Curse the day I made those puny wards. He roars. I will never be fooled by humans again.
Do you have any ideas about where the scroll was taken?
No. The Empire humans stole one of my set of unique scrolls in the history of dragonkind and spirited it away. I found one of their layers nearby and destroyed it, but the scroll was nowhere inside. I don't know where they put it, but maybe there are clues in the ruins.
Where are these ruins?
The ruin of the human lair I devastated lies several caverns to the southwest in a swamp. It is no longer well hidden. Search it well and you may find a way to my scroll. Find it and I can reward you.
What would my reward be?
I will tell you the secret of the wards I created.
How do you fill your time here alone?
He snorts. Smoke and flame bellow forth. I increase my wisdom most of the time. The rest I deal with are intruders.
Am I an intruder?
Perhaps. Normally, I am not one to welcome humans. I once was. Not anymore.
Then you've had dealings with humans before.
He angrily breathes flame into the air. You are Avernites. You are not of the Empire above. Were that not the case, you would be dead now in vengeance.
Vengeance?
Oh, your deaths would be slow and agonizing. His claws rake the ground in anger. I would entrap you in barriers and starve and burn you for days and years. This is the reward for cheating a dragon.
How will you cheat?
His eyes blaze. A long forked tongue licks his lips. He struggles to contain himself. Humans from above came to me once, offering a deal. I would make wards for a tower of theirs. In return, they would give me many books from the surface. I made the words, but they only gave me a few books. One was Harry Potter, and I hate that fucking book. Khoth watches you, waiting to see what you have to say. He shifts impatiently, wanting to be left alone with this scroll. Happily, he is not so annoyed that he regained his solitude by eating you.
You have an amazing library here.
Of the dragons in these caves, only Brother Motrax and I truly appreciate the wonders of learning, the joys of intellect. The difference is that I prefer solitude and he doesn't. But then he hasn't been cheated yet like I have by humans. At any rate, he is much wiser than my other siblings.
Tell me of your siblings.
Anthron wishes only to be alone in her home. Fool Pyrog plays foolish power games with mortals in the tunnels. Sulphurus is good for contemplating her own might and little more. He sighs. We dragons are strong and a proud lot, but we can be capable of foolishness as you mortals.
Speaking of dragons, what's that huge circle of runes for?
That is safe to say, none of your damn business, human.
Alright, I think we have finished all we can as far as talking to the old dragon here. Does have some stealable meat. Alright, so that's basically what we came here for, was the quest to help Khoth and, of course, dispel Barrier 3. Let's see another cache out here. Something we probably have to orb to. Looks like it. We do not want to grab that yet. We're going to be doing a whole video of finding caches. And it's going to be a doozy, because I'm going to have to do lots of backtracking. There's a massive basalt fortress blocking the corridor. It has no visible gates. It's just a massive sheet of rock, stretching from wall to wall and floor to ceiling. Massive words. The letters 5 feet high have been carved into the rock. Infernal infested realm, sealed by order of King Micah. None may proceed. Apparently that is including us. Another cache there. You emerge from the passage and are greeted by a hellish vision. The cavern is a blasted wasteland of mounds of pumice, volcanic ash, and sharp, jagged obsidian. The choking aroma of rotten eggs makes you feel faint. In addition to the south of bubbling mud and venting steam fumaroles, you also hear the hisses, howls, and roars of creatures who live here. In the absence of humans, Nephilim and Slithzerikai, flesh-devouring monsters have prospered. Oh, this is interesting. There's a group of large lizards warming themselves near the fumaroles. They have formed nests out of the large piles of white stone. The lizards are small and innocent looking. You think you see a glint of metal in their nest, and thus we must kick the living shit out of them.
Hello, my name's Luglug. Welcome to the show.
Burn, baby, burn. Whoopsie. Really? Fuck out of here with that shit. You search the nest and find a bunch of coins, some trash, and a halberd. You don't think anyone intentionally built this stone hut in this ridiculously hard-to-reach location. It looks like cave quakes opened up the fumaroles, blocking the corridor after the hut was built. There are bones in the ground. They look sort of human except for the fangs. Whoever these people were, they have been trapped here by the disaster. You search the building. There's lots of lava, bat guano, and broken pottery. No treasure, though. Either the residents were poor, or someone looted the area before you. You have the luck to notice that there are several stone tablets in the guano. You scrape the scum off and realize that the thin sheets are covered with writing. You decipher it. It's very hard to read the writing, but you can tell one thing. It's some sort of magical inscription. You can improve your knowledge of the spell Cloak of Bolts here. You concentrate and try to memorize it. With work, you gain more proficiency in Cloak of Bizdolts and Biznuts. That's protection from missile weapons, I believe. Not anything that we really care about. We can still train in it and get the other 2 levels. That's the first level of it. It's probably nothing I'm going to use. But hey. You never know. I'll do a little skippage there.
This motherfucker!
This is how we do it. We do it. Got some mages wandering around with some stone golems. Mages wandering around with some stone golems. You encounter a wandering human wearing tattered robes. He's followed by several mindless sentinels. One look at him reveals that his harsh landscape has left him quite mad. It's amazing that he's still alive. When he gets close, he starts to rant at you. Came for the demon, I did. Came to battle Khoth. But his mind, it's touched mine. All the power, all the ancient knowledge. Now I see how wrong it is to fight him. How wrong is it for you to fight him? Tell me you will not. Tell me you will never defy his majesty. He's basically the voices of all of us. I will battle all evil in Avernum until my dying day. I don't know. What should we tell this guy?
I will battle all evil in Avernum until my dying day. Foolish adventurers, I will dispatch you as a mercy. Otherwise, Khoth torments will curse you eternally. You'll thank me later.
The man waves his arms and the sentinels that follow him lumber towards you. Well, fuck this guy then. Bring him the wrath of the Lug-Lug. Fucking go to night-night time, baby. No! You fucking goober. I love having adrenaline on Ron stock, man. It is a blessing. Fucking kill two of them. Hey! Easy on old Lugster. You fucking cocksmoker. I didn't mean to put cloak and bolts there, that's for sure. The Mad Dead Wizard had an ivory wand in his hand, and you take it. Yay. Steel halberd, yay. Sell that shit too. This is a dried up lava tube, rising steeply away from the tumult below. As you climb, the tube gets steeper and cooler. It looks like passage goes up quite a long way. It'd be difficult to climb, but you try, and you climb and keep climbing. Your excitement grows as the surface world grows closer and closer. You may have finally found an escape route from Avernum. Then suddenly the passage starts to shake. Blocks of pumice and basalt fall from the ceiling. You quickly climb back down, and the shaking stops. You start up again, and it starts again. You head back down in disgust. When you're almost at the bottom, there's an explosion above. The passage seals itself. A magical trap has blocked another possible escape route.
God damn it!
A large group of undead is wandering around on these narrow strips of basalt. An unexpected lava flow must have cut them off from the rest of the area, trapping them. The uneven ground keeps the creatures from moving quickly. You could evade them if you want. No!
I don't know what the word evade means.
What the fuck was that? They immune to this shit? That was weird as balls. We got the Lich chilling over there. That's cool. These fucking toast. I ain't afraid of no ghost. As you prepare to leave, you notice one of the zombies has a leather helmet on its rotted head. Amazingly, the acidic secretions of the creature haven't damaged it. You take it. We get the dragon skin cap. 9 armor. +1 to resistance. And a mind effect resistance. Resistance is good. Resistance is good. I'm not going to give that to Lugster. Pretty good for Trog, I think. 9% armor, 1 resistance, mind effect. Yeah, sure, why not? 12 poison, 12 acid. I kind of like that better than cold resistance and 2% to evade attack. I guess the 2% of evade attack is what's making it better. Let's go ahead and give this to Ronstock. He's got the rat skin helmet, which is definitely not better. There we go. I like definitive upgrades like that. No-brainer upgrades. That's another blocked off passage by asshole King Micah. The cavern is a fetid swamp, full of huge pools of standing water, green with lichen and other flora. The heat from several fumaroles has created an environment where algae and slime can flourish. It's a fascinating sight, despite the filth and smell of rot. The light from the fungus in the ceiling, normally dim in these remote caverns, is bright here, giving you the excellent view of the harsh environment. There's a deep chasm here. It could be a valuable source of drainage for the stagnant cave. Unfortunately, the lip around its edges keeps the water in the cave from running off. Hot and moist air constantly rises from the pit, fueling the growth of the flora. The reek of rot and decay is almost overwhelming. Enormous cave bats and crocodiles. Yeah, go ahead. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I need to get back to town so that I can get my MP back. Thank you. Alright, we've done some damage over here. We're about to wrap this video up anyhow. I'm going to leave some of this part. I'm going to leave this western part of this undiscovered for now. Yeah, I could probably swallow a bunch of potions and be good, but I'm so into hoarding them that we'll just pop back off here and get all of our shit back. Thank you. I needed to cast some spells first. Would you fucking stop? Fuck is wrong with you? I don't get the point of that enlightened shit when it wears off, like, right afterwards. Fucking weird as shit. God damn it, why does it keep doing that? The Black Spire, okay. Well, we found the Black Spire area, and that's going to be marked on our map. Where the fuck is Erica's Tower? That's where we want to go. Oh, we gotta go way down there. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. There are ruins of a human settlement, built by a group of Ober-optimistic miners and traders. It was attacked and looted years ago. Only rubble and bones remain. You can't even find evidence of who delivered the final blow. It might be the ogres that are chilling here. You find a large colony of fierce, half-starved ogres living here, lurking in one of the last partially intact buildings of this old ruin. They've clearly been cut off from the rest of Avernum for a while, and they've been living on fish and lichen for a long time. They approach you cautiously. They're hungry enough to attack you, but they're also careful. You could probably easily outrun them if you wanted to, but you don't want to, so you decide to kick the living shit out of them. Here we go with the fucking levels. It's not gonna save you, brother. You're fucking with the Mad Mage. Let the leveling begin. The ogres are dead. You search their huts. The filth and rotten carrion in their home makes you feel ill. They only had a handful of silver and a tarnished helmet. You take all their shit. A steel helmet. Sell it. We're gonna have a fuckload of money when all is said and done, honey. Large square stone tower in the passage is very old and cracked, and the lichen covers most of its exposed surfaces. There is a large opening in the front. You can easily enter. You do so. Inside is a 30 feet in diameter. It is plain and dirty, and the only feature of note is against the north wall. A huge-ass fucking demon has been imprisoned here, chained to the wall by silver runed chains. It's easily 10 feet tall, though. The low ceiling forces it to pathetically hunch over. The massive beast looks at you listlessly.
Free me, humans, it croaks, and you will be rewarded.
Oh, we free him. The moment you cut the chains, the demon's apathy disappears. It utters a hoarse bark and friends appear. Then it shouts,
Free at last! Now to food, and the beginnings of new wealth.
Unfortunately, it makes clear that it looks at you as a good source of food and wealth.
You done fucked up, demon. My name is Glug-Glug. I'm about to send you back to hell. Hakai, bye-bye.
The moment the enormous demon dies, it starts to dissolve. Soon the only thing remaining of it are a pool of dark slime and a glowing blade the beast is wielding.
I got a new blade called Spectral Falchion. Suck this!
+8 to Blade Master? Holy dick nuggets. 77 to 308. Alright, doesn't do as much as the using. Doesn't do as much as that, but +8 to Blade Master? That's pretty fucking elite. Blade Master's right here. That's 3% damage for each level and a 1% chance to hit. I mean, we're definitely giving up something. It might be time to give up the Wave Blade that just does the adjacent damage. I'm thinking that's where that should go. I like the extra ability to cleave, but that's about all that does. It's got a nice hit chance too, but with +8 to Blade Master, who gives a flying shit nugget? Yeah, Spectral Falchion time. Two hit chance. That does good damage too. 81. 5 crit, 5 parry. 2. Yeah, I like the crit. The crit hit is where it's at. 2,500. I think we'll go ahead and get rid of the Radiant Short Blade at this point. And the Steel Broadsword. I think we can live without those. Come on, rogue bitch. Could probably sell these purging crystals, to be quite honest. But we have a lot of stuff here we need to sell, and we're pretty well off on money. We're gonna do some good training, I think, once we finally finish up with Kaias. Bring him Draft Spellbook. Anyways, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Stay tuned for more Avernum.